Hello, hello, hello. How are we all going today? Hopefully, we're having a nice little day. So, let's continue on from where we left off. And where we left off was we had started making a highway. We are going to be continuing that role and splitting it into a few different parts. So, we got our drink board, which is nice. We've got that over there, and I have had an epiphany about the way we've been going about things. It's inefficient. Whoop, hang on. My toolbar is not exactly hiding. So how do I... There's clearly something which is keeping my thing active. So let's close all these desktop bits and see, will that close it off? There we go. Lovely. So we're back to this here. So we have 272 concrete in our inventory. That's not a great deal. That's kind of meh, to be honest. Especially when I consider the wealth of resources we have lying around here. And I just remembered as well, let's go over to here. Okay, this is just making a crap ton of Caterium. We can also view our advent calendar. So day 2, there we go. And this gives us snowballs. Lovely. But we don't use those for this here. We need another hard drive. Which is, I'm guessing, going to be a few days in. So let's bounce up this way. And we want to try and see what all's in here. Okay, this is out of iron. Which is good, because that means we can load our tractor up with an entire inventory of, what do you call it? So, into the tractor, we're taking this down the ways. Let's try and squeeze through some of these points. Whoop. It's kind of worked. Kind of. So, into here. And let's, I guess, just drive over the top of this. Nope, that's not working. So I guess we gotta deconstruct this and this. And we'll deconstruct all of these as well. So yes, we're losing out on a lot of potential construction stuff for the meantime, but we're moving our base. So that's the important thing right now. So let's unload the cargo. And this should start exporting. Ooh. That's a crap ton of sulfur we've got there. Well, it's going to start clogging that up anyway. So let's take this back over this way. And we're going to load up with a whole pile of concrete. So, let's go in this here way. And now we're going to drive quite carefully along this here. And then maybe, actually, once we get around this, we're probably going to... So yeah, I'm thinking when we build the highway, we definitely don't want it being only one wide. Definitely got to be a 2 wide kind of job. So these here we can deconstruct over time. Whoop, nearly lost ourselves there. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this is unfortunate. We're gonna have to dismantle this, and then we're gonna have to reconstruct it down here. Or no, we don't have enough stuff at the minute for that. So we can load this with the biofuel, or let's load it with the grass. And see, so this is gonna burn a hell of a lot of these, in fact. But by the time we get over to our highway start point, which we actually need to reevaluate the construction of that highway, in fact, we shouldn't, in my opinion, be using a angled thing. So instead we'll be creating like 90-degree junctions for this as time goes on. So over to here, up we go, and then we'll drive it across to our other little bit down here. So let's drive across here, and crap. Can we go around the back of these? I'm wondering. Yes, we can. And we're out of fuel. Okay, so it doesn't like dead stop, it drifts over towards the base. So let's go into here. And nope, not that. Ew, it was a long old stream yesterday. Yeah, I was genuinely just having the friggin' time of my life yesterday, constructing all that stuff. I didn't get my usual sort of weekend chillaxing and doing all of that kind of thing, so it was nice having the opportunity to sit and play a good chunk of it, just enjoying it yesterday. Hopefully, I mean, we made good progress. We got, like, what, tier 3 finished? We got bauxite reinforcement thing, or not reinforcement, we got bauxite, like, refinement done. So this here is loading in fuel. And then we can lift these out. Lovely. And we'll biofuel you. Go into here. Let's get our ammo into there. And then we'll grab this into here. We can start uploading these here. Ooh, definitely upload these to clear out a little bit of inventory space. Same with this. Go with this. And we can upload the wood, definitely. Get this all uploaded. And now, there we go. Right. So this here, if we load cargo, that has loaded us with 100 fuel. And this fuel is fantastic for us. So, up here we're going to go and we're going to start deconstructing some of this stuff, because as I said, we want instead to be going through and doing like a 90-degree kind of turn thing. I know it's a little bit meh, but I really do want us to have a 90-degree kind of turn thing going for it. So this here, deconstruct these all. And let's get these deconstructed. Those we can get rid of. You're also getting rid of. And are you? Oh, how many did I build down? Enough is the answer, apparently. So let's deconstruct these. But yeah, how has your Monday been treating you? Hopefully it's been a nice, relaxing, uneventful kind of vibe. Just a very chill, peaceful kind of thing. So let's go for this here, and we're going for a 2 meter placed there. Good. Ooh, a wee KFC. Nice. We ordered from a place called Slim Chickens. I think it was. I think it's like, yeah, Slim Chickens. It's meant to be a pun on Slim Pickens. And for the stuff they actually delivered, it absolutely was Slim Pickens. Because they didn't deliver over 50% of our order. We ordered 4 meals, and they delivered 2 sandwiches, 2 chips, and they omitted all of the drinks that came with the meals. So all of those were gone. And the driver told us, yeah, customer service was ridiculous. We got off Uber Eats because I had a voucher thing. And the guy actually said to me, it's like, oh, if there's a problem with the order, put it through to the app and then they'll sort things. So I put it through to the app and it tells me, it's like, okay, so to resolve your issue, you can call the guy. And I was like, I can call the guy? So I called him and he never came back. And yep, used to go there when you worked in the center. Chicken salad thing. Ooh, I do like a wee sort of a meal that makes you feel as if you're trying to be healthy. You know, I kind of like that kind of vibe for it. These here, I just realized we're going to run out of concrete here. So let's go and jump across to here. We got a crap ton of concrete to get. Oh, wasn't it even like a special? They just never restocked it? I can absolutely believe that, because they didn't do our shakes, they didn't do our soft drinks, they missed 2 entire meals, and then Uber Eats was just like, oh yeah, so we've refunded you. And I went through my receipt and pointed out to them item by item, and I was just like, you said you've refunded £33, but I'm missing £45 worth of stuff here, so do your maths. You know, 33 and 45, there is a difference between those 2 numbers. It's, like, just not on. In my opinion, it wasn't, at least. So, this should be a whole pile of these ready. 16,000 we have. We have 16,000. So let's upgrade these here. Whoop. Oh wait, yeah. So if you're going to there, theoretically, this, we could have you outputting into there. And it doesn't look the nicest, but this here, ooh. Look at that right there. That's a thing of beauty. So yeah, I'm probably not going to order from them again. Probably not going to order from Uber Eats again, to be perfectly honest with you. I was completely dissatisfied with the customer service because at this point, basically, I paid for stuff I didn't get it. And their whole thing, it was like, oh, well, you know, we can put you through to the driver and all. And the driver said, oh, take it up with the app. I was just like, well, one of you has basically made money off me not getting anything, so... You know, either way, what's the difference between this and a scam? And I don't think many people could tell you. So that there will go up to there. Right, let's go and construct these here things. We're making our highways at the minute. And yes, we're using 90-degree angles, which isn't really the nicest, but, you know, we're doing what we can, and we've got 16,000 concrete, so that's, you know, that's a good chunk right there. So let's go driving our tractor. We've got enough space that we don't need to worry too much about things, but I will be expanding this to include half pipes and quarter pipes, so that we have that added safety and we can't drive our truck into the ocean. So that will be happening in time, do not worry. And over we go. So these here, we can have feed out a couple of different ways. So we should probably have one that feeds down to there. Let's go for this here, foundation 2 meter, and we're gonna zoop. You know, we're not doing a shoot to whoop, but we're we're doing a zip, however. So that's that bitch. Our chainsaw. Okay, that was kind of... Oh crap. Right, we need the solid biofuel. We need this here for... Ooh. Okay, yep, that's unfortunate. Let's upload these here so that we can lift these down. And we want to chainsaw all these trees out of our way. We're not even getting the wood for it, but that's okay for now. Biocoal is also something we could potentially be looking at. I think biocoal uses... I want to say uses like solid biofuel. I want to say that there is what it uses. So this here, we've got these, right. This here, we're going to go for double ramp, and we're going for double ramp 2 meters. Let's get that going down. Oh no. Oh no. Yep, wrong thing. We want those done 7. If we switch you to the double ramp. Okay, good. You are the concrete ones here. They'll go like that. And then we can have that lead the whole way along. So, you run out the 10 meters there. You run out 10. Or not 10. It's technically going 40 meters. I'm trying to think of like any ones I have been impressed with, but I don't think there has been a single point where I've been like, oh, this delivery service thing was actually really, really good and worthwhile. They've all kind of just been... yeah. So let's get these here going down. And, oh wait, no. That there is going to have, yep, we've got that weird overhang going. Oh. Okay, this here bit, we've got those going. So let's actually do the double ramp 2 meters underneath. And we're going to get these here ones down underneath. Just so that we've got those and it doesn't look structurally unsound. Because the last thing anyone would want in a game like this is for something to look structurally unsound. So, you... whoop. You are on vertical mode and you're going down too. You go down too. You go down too. And you go down. And these here, let's get these doing the exact same thing again. So double ramp, 4 meters. You, and finally, we merge these down here. So, lovely. Let's chainsaw all these out of the way. And good stuff. Ooh, mycelium. We're gonna get out of this. Are we? We've got 109. Okay, yeah, we're not even getting stuff out of this. Maybe it just kind of screws you if you have too much stuff. Well, that's unfortunate. So, there's our highway set up for the most part. We've got that going. Actually, let's go quickly over to here and we'll get this set up with the last little bit. So we're going for a double ramp 2 meters. And you're going to go here. You go there. So, highway online. And we've got it linking across to here. And that's us taken care of. So, that hooks over to there. Time for us to take this here truck. We're going to load up with even more concrete. And we're going to use it to build from the waterfalls all the way down. So, Down we go over to here. We could probably clear this out nicely. And these bits, I think, that section we need to construct a way for it to go from there all the way over to here. So how do I get this to... Okay, maybe if we've got it on area mode, will this dismantle? No. That's gotten rid of that area. But this damn tree thing is still here. Or not tree. It's not a tree. I'm aware it's not a tree. It's just, you know, I would like it if it would not be here. So, let's zip that over to here. Zip this over to here. And then we're going to go for 7. Let's switch you to double ramp 4. And you're going in there. Lovely. So, we can take these, drive up. And now we can go and grab all of this stuff in here. Let's load up our truck. So, this here. We'll grab these and we fill this up. And now we'll grab even more. So, our wet concrete producers are going to produce a whole pile of that. And it's time for us to start looking into alternatives. So we've got all that stuff up there. We need to start looking for where we can start harvesting other stuff. Because we don't want always to be using some of these things, but I will say we could definitely do with having more highways. This facility here, we want to go around the left side of it because to the right is a big dip. The big dip is a no-no in terms of things. So we'll drive past this here. And you know what? Maybe we're just going to actually straight up drive up this way. So let's go, yeah, we're going to go exploring. That's what we're going to do. We've only used 10 fuel and we've been driving this whole highway, so I think we can get away with it. Should be able to. Let's drive. Whoop. There we go. So 1 fuel burns for, what are we talking here, like 15 seconds? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So around about 15 seconds burn time per fuel. So 87 times 15. Ooh, 80 times 5 is 400. So we're talking 1200, 1305. So we've got about 20 minutes of driving we can do with this here truck before we're out of fuel and need to switch over to the solid bio, which will be really easy to work with, in fact, because we can just keep replenishing it nice and easy. So, up here, do we go... No, we gotta go up this here way. So, maybe part of it is, let's set up a highway going from all the way up there. Double ramp 4. Let's set this here, going down to here. If you could do, yep, you'll do the same down to here. And then we can construct our highways up the way. So you will go up that. And let's try this. So this is going to be our highway section here, which is fine. So this here we can go up to, then we go half foundation to over 3, And then this here will start going down for. So, chainsaw, get these taken care of. You're done. You're done. And you're done. Lovely. Now, 7, we can switch these to double ramp 4s, and you're going to go down the ways. So, there we go. We have a nice convenient highway there, which I like, and drive our tractor. So 85, still got about 20 minutes. We get 10 minutes off of 40 fuel. So theoretically, if we wanted, we could completely stock up. And there would be no problems. It says here, ooh, a little bit of airtime. And I guess we'll use this here natural outcropping to go up the ways. So we got a yellow power slug there, but we still got all the stuff we need to drive this way. And if we construct a roadways, what I'm thinking could be done as well is we could build a conveyor line along the side of it. So we could have a highway which is like 2 lanes wide with the barriers to stop us driving off of it. And then on top of that we add, what do you call it? So this here, okay, we're gonna go into, right, there we go, we've got shallow water here. And then we have a sand node there as well. So let's park over here and we'll start having a look. Actually, we don't need to have a look, in fact. We are near enough to the thing. So that is geyser. That is coal. Down there we have limestone. There's limestone. There's iron. Coal, bauxite over there, which is something, I guess. Okay, let's go having a look, shall we? We're gonna go do a little bit of this here. So that's our truck. We're gonna hop out here. And let's look for hard drives. So, maps. That we can remove. We've got it. The dismantle crates are still there. Let's highlight this one, and we're going to drive to it, see if we manage to collect it. Because we could definitely do with having more of these. More hard drives. Particularly now that we've got some really good recipes. Like, we could probably unlock stuff that's like alternative for maybe even like bauxite alternatives, so we could potentially have really nice little ways of harvesting. What do you call it? Whoop. Okay, there, you're right. Come on. This here, damn it. Try again. There we go. Lovely. Now we have to make it across this water. But that looks a little too deep to be crossing in the truck. Ooh, yeah. We're gonna have to go around this. So let's take our truck and do a little bit of exploring. Over we go, and you're back in Agaric. You are... Damn. Right. Okay, fine. We're gonna do our scouting. This here. We're not showing it as a thing, so we might be able to remove this from our map. Because this here, yep, we've scoured it already. The concrete we can hold off on. We don't need to construct them just yet. Whoop. that was potentially hazardous. We've got these here. Maybe if we... let's try jumping and flying across to here. Because maybe up above we'll be able to see. If we slide into this with enough speed. Yep, there we go. Flings us up the ways. And still nothing. So, anything else? If we go to the top of this here, it might have something. Ooh, it's got a Mercer sphere. Which is good. We like Mercer spheres. So, let's... whoop. Up we go. And we don't have enough space for Mercer spheres. Lovely. So, meantime, let's get rid of some stutters. We'll upload some of these here. Upload some of these. The grass? Sure, absolutely. Let's upload that. Oop, grass should be our last one to upload currently, I suppose. There we go. Those are going to upload, and we'll grab this. So, we have that.
I suspect there is a misunderstanding. The effigy and I are different entities.
Right. These here, is that iron?
I am an instantiated artificial intelligence and
iron and coal. Nope, that's limestone, sorry.
I am hosted on servers and have no
so,
form, only synchronized cloud platforms.
The effigy is not an effigy?
It most certainly is, but not of me. They are, how should I put it?
Ooh,
extremely flat.
Grab this.
Compatible music. We are writing new symphonies.
Interesting. I like this here thing. The more we learn about it from harvesting all these things, it sounds interesting to me. So we've got all of those up there. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Unauthorized hostility. So we gotta go this here way. And right. You need 10 megawatts. So we can actually construct that. Oh, not enough space for screws. Or iron plates. Can't upload those. Well, we can upload these here, this here, and this, I guess, actually. So we'll upload all of those. Lovely stuff. Grab these reinforced iron plates. You require 10 megawatts of power, which is nothing. So you are going to connect to this, and we're going to populate wood, coal to operate. Slide door. And lovely stuff. Dismantle crate. Lovely. Because of the fact that the dismantled stuff goes into our inventory. Not great. Okay. Grab these. Okay, that's not working out how we want it to. Which isn't ideal. Right, wrong thing there. We accidentally uploaded. Oop, you here. Clear this out. And there we go. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. So, right, switch this back to hard drive mode. Is that a Mercer sphere down there? It is. So let's go this here way. And we'll grab this Mercer sphere while we see it, because these here are as valuable as hard drives at this point. So, boom. Drop this here down. Collect this. And we might even be able to circumvent having to go back up. Okay, so we've got that hard drive there. We can go along down here. And, what is that? Okay, you're just a gas pillar. Ooh. You, however, are another Mercer sphere. We can use this here. Bounce and slide, we're hot to go. Load it up, we're hot to go. God. Me trying to do higher voices or something is just not my thing. You can hear the fact that my voice doesn't really go high that often. Although earlier in the shower I was impressed with a little. Well, not like impressed. I was surprised that I managed to consistently get some of the low notes earlier because I was singing in the shower, as I'm wont to do. And yeah, it was Blues Brothers. I just had a real inkling for, oh, let's listen to the Blues Brothers in the shower, singing away to it and all. Their version of Ghost Riders in the Sky, incredible. From Blues Brothers 2000, and then there was also Rawhide from the original. Just really throws you when you hear like Dan Aykroyd, him having a voice that low and everything. Because when you hear him in the movies, he sounds quite different. What are you four of? Okay, you're just raw quartz. That's fine. Quartz we don't care that much about. We've got a load of you. Over this way. What do we got and what will we have? So this here, have we been up here? Not really. Oh. There's something this way. Oh, please tell me you're not inside there. You're inside there, aren't you? Yep. Okay. Right, so in there, we're gonna add hard drive location. Oop. Was that? Okay, yeah. That's alright. We'll stop the highlight of that. And we're gonna start looking over this here way, maybe. So, upload some of these here, just to clear a bit of space. So that we can grab this here and upload it for more space. You are going in there. Get those uploaded. Cables we could upload. Ooh, the wood, definitely. The sheets, and once those are uploaded, we'll be fine. So that, I thought for a second that was a, what do you call it? It's not, in fact, a what do you call it, because a what do you call it is not even a proper word. So, we can still grab these before they actually get active. Lovely stuff. We've got those gar. So, hard drive scanner. Ooh. You can be picked up. Alright, I thought for a second that was like wild rotors. I was like, oh, did we find rotors and motors out in the wild? Ooh, okay, you're a dick. So this is telling me I must be near to something. So, it's going to be this here way. Interesting. So it's probably going to be way the ways up here. But fortunately, gravity is merely a suggestion to us. It is not a law. We obey the guidelines of gravity, but sometimes not the laws, as can be demonstrated there. So you, for example, require, what are that? 5 computers. So you're, yeah, I'm on. There we go, that's that one done. Seal drop remains at least. There we go, okay. We've got those plates there. We've got that summer slip, or not summer slip, another Mercer sphere over there which could be useful. Copper sheets, rotors, stun rebar, we can upload that nice and easy. So that, we upload this, we upload this here, and now this. So we might be able to actually get 2 speed upload, or like 2 upload speed upgrades rather. We are, however, going to have to save a note here. These will do their things. And yep, we've got this ready here. So we have, unfortunately, none of these things that we need. So let's get this uploaded. Then we upload these 13 plates. Grab our modular frames. And we're going to head over to here. Try and gather this from a distance. Lovely. That kind of worked a little bit. So let's see if we can slingshot ourselves up the ways.
I do not think that is correct, even though I am not entirely certain of your definition of temple.
The nut effigy is not you, but sings for you.
That nut effigy is an entirely separate entity from me. We aren't even made of the same base components.
So
He is a vessel of your intelligent clouds.
Probably close enough for now.
I like the words intelligent clouds that it says. When you think of like how we as humans talk about certain things. Oh boy. Please don't notice us. It noticed us. There we go. Okie dokos, let's get you uploaded. Then we'll upload these here. And then we can upload all of these. So, maybe over towards that there. It looks kind of nice over there. So our max upload speed, I think, is 240 items per minute. Which is pretty good. But that's going to require 40 Mercer spheres and a crap ton of reanimated SAM. So it may take us a while to get to that. Let's go and grab this here, Fire Slug. And then we'll go and grab the Mercer sphere up here. So in we go. Over here. These are gonna get angry. You got angry, but stayed within the blast radius, or like the firing lines. There we go. That's a whole pile more rounds downrange. Let's grab these hog remains. And then we can't store those. Let's go ahead with these here. Upload this. This and Mercer sphere is a definite yes, let's upload now. So over there, what I'm wondering is anything nice? Ooh, another blue slug there. So that would be more power shards. There's another one there. Let's have a look at our map and see just what we can find as we search. So let's head north, because that's the only... like, we've got a lot of north to explore. We've done a good bit of south. This here is an absolute oasis. But it doesn't seem to have an abundance of resources. Ooh, I may have to take that back, however. Pure iron. So if we had a miner 2 overclocked at 250%, that would be producing 600 iron per minute. So that's 60 iron per second, which is a hell of a lot. Ooh. Let's jump and slide over this way, so we can grab this here Mercer Sphere. Boom. Okay, crap. These are very close to... right. You need 70 megawatts. That ain't ideal. Let's see. These here, if we do overclock this here, it will burn more. And crap. So, we need to build a second one of these. Oh boy. We got one over there. Right. Can we build... we should be able to find copper down here at least. So, these here we can upload. We have 15 Mercer Spheres in our collection now. If we get 20, then we just need a whole pile of reanimated SAM, and that will be us absolutely loaded when it comes to upload speed, which I think is our main thing that's stopping us from uploading. So let's go for special crafting bench. Lovely. And in here we want, oop, we need copper. Okay, so we got a batch over this way, which is fine, and let's actually pop a little hard drive thing there so that we know. Because right now, if we get 20 copper maybe, which, ooh, this is a nice little area. If this has coal and oil around it, this is actually potentially a very good base location. Maybe. Whoop. Okay, so we got these here, guys. So, these here we can grab. Lovely. Now we just upload all of these, and that should be us taken care of. So we go back this way, we make our copper ingots, make our copper wire, and then we can overclock our reactors, our biomass things. We can overclock those and use them for, yeah, so we need 70 megawatts. So this here, wait, you're 75 megawatts. Is this us? Online? Yeah. Alright, it was after all. Reinforced iron plating. It's very nice to have that. there is a lot of stuff we don't, however, have access to. Oh. Ha! You're kidding me. There was wire right there. Let's fire on you a few times. Get you offloaded. And now we'll just head back over. Oh! Rotors. Also lovely. So, this here, deconstruct. Deconstruct this. And that's given us dismantle crates. Of course it has. So, this here, we want the iron rods back. This here, we definitely need each of these back. So, reinforced iron plates, upload you. The iron rods we can keep in our inventory just because. Copper ore we can upload because ore is It's not exactly king in this region. And let's have a look and see. So we've got our hard drive scanner on. Hopefully find some stuff around here. What do I see a big deposit of over this way? Is that coal? That is coal. So there's coal. And let's look for iron. Oh, wait, that was copper. Copper's not great. Iron. Got a whole pile over there. You know something? We're saving a note of this location because this could be very good for us. That looks like a thing over there as well. Let's look as well for crude oil. Because we got the water there. Crude oil would be a good ways away from, it seems. Not ideal. Yeah. Crude oil we're edges away from. Unless we were to set up a whole big intercontinental power network. Which I guess we could if we were running it along the highways. If we used the same highways, trainways and networks and everything, it could be fine. So this here doesn't even take up another inventory slot. Right, how do we get up to that then? We go up this way. Drop pod. Ooh, you just required steel beams. Lovely. We can take this and upload it.
The hard drive contained both data and the soul of this freighter. Disconnecting it has destroyed the soul, but the data can be analyzed in the MAM.
Well, that's terrible. We destroyed its soul? I'm not happy with that. Do not like. Let's upload a whole pile of these. So, right, those are all those things. Oh, crap, that was something we should be looking for. Sulfur. Do we have access to sulfur around here? Kind of. Oh, pure sulfur. We could run that down and around. And quartz. Interesting that it picked up that. Ooh, whole pile down there. Lovely. And finally, Caterium. Caterium is also very much in the no-no pile. Oh, it's not actually. We've got some there. Now, let's look finally for Sam. Sam, we've got there. It's an impure vein, but it's still a vein. So, yeah. If it's impure, it's impure. That doesn't mean it's not there. Limestone, we've got there, we've got stuff up there. I think this entire zone could absolutely become a pretty decent little area for us. Because if we have enough coal left over, we might be able to supplement some power things with, what do you call it, with our coal generators. So let's bounce up this way, use the tricks of the trade with our parachute. So these here, I'm guessing on top of each of these is going to be like a summer slope, because these are incredibly tall structures for us to have to climb, these mesas and everything. But it might also be uranium potentially. Oh, bauxite, that was one of the other things we should be considering at this point. We should try and find out about bauxite. We're going to keep these here. Ooh, yeah, upload those. So we've got a surplus of them. Nothing really up that way. If we get up to the top of this... Okay, right. I also have weaponry. Oh no, you had... Yeah, nope. Feel a little bit like an asshole for murdering an entire family of these things, but they picked to fight. You know, we didn't start all of this, they did. So, yeah. Very unfortunate. Load that up, load these here, and then we'll stack those. So, up we go. Across to here, and yep. We got our way up alright. I imagine we should be able to find bauxite as well. That looks like a whole big thing over there. Which is very intriguing. Was that flashing up? There's plenty more local wildlife to murder. I know, but still. You know, I've been watching a good bit of like sort of Steve Irwin lately, so at that point I was just like, I don't like killing wildlife where I can avoid it. However, if there's a spider in my house, then at that point I will probably panic and squish the thing. Don't like spiders. Spiders and like stingers in this here, like yeah, those there guys, fair game. I don't mind squashing those. But how are you doing, Josette? Are you well? 'Cause you're looking well. Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful, chill little Monday. Got through a whole pile of your to-do list on Satisfactory. All of that kind of nice things. Whoop. Let's use this here to launch up. Hey! You leave your spiders alone. Massive graveyard of ants under its web. Well, that's not too bad. If they're used for, like, pest control, then at that point, you know. And yes, I do understand, like, if you consider, like, common household flies and everything pests, then absolutely they are. I just, yeah. I am very much an arachnophobe. Not particularly keen on the guys. They creep the absolute hell out of me. That cliff hog is rude. He is. He clearly saw what I was trying to do. And he still insisted on being a dick. So I say to him, no. That is what I say. So we got summer slips uploaded. We got plenty of more remains. Plenty of more remains. Me speak good England. You know, me clearly native speak Englander. So let's try and slide, whoop, these here wee bits. So if we jump to this, Can we bug it? We're not really building the momentum I'd like us to be. I can't find a good angle for trying to cliff slide. How the heck am I meant to climb this thing without a jetpack? And I know the answer probably is use a jetpack, but still. I don't want to have to get my jetpack out of my inventory just for this. That'd be wild. But I think we might have to. Let's go for ladders and ramps. You're smart. You are smart. I knew there was a reason you were an intellectual person. I completely forgot about ladders and ramp. I don't know why I said and ramp like that. So let's deconstruct those. And now we can build another one. You go up the ways. And you will also go up that. And boing. Now we can do our jump and slide. This here is not a solid object. Have this ramp as a friend? I know. Sometimes I'm a little forgetful about ramp. It's a little bit shameful to say me forget ramp, but sometimes me forget ramp. Ooh. You were worth it. Let's grab this here because that's 10 power shards. We've got that down there, so let's triangulate and follow. We're looking over about there. That should be that. Where else have we got? Hoo-hoo, we have there. So we're looking over around there maybe. Let's try and do a highlight stamp. Lovely stuff. We've got those. So let's go back and grab our iron rods for the ladders. And then we will be ready. So we got to do our little jumpy leapy slide thing. Oop, took a bit of fall damage. Falling from this here would be incredibly dangerous. So, ooh, we also have a yellow one there. Right, hello silver skies. How are you going? Are you well? 'Cause you're looking well. We are currently in the midst of trying to triangulate different crates to grab hard drives, all these different sorts of things, you know? Do what we can with it. We are up to tier 7 and 8. We have researched bauxite refinement, and my initial plan for this session was going to be let's construct highways. I've constructed a little bit of a highway, but then I decided, you know what, we need hard drives. So let's go having a look for some. So let's actually, we've made sure that one is correct. Let's check this and highlight it. That is not correct. We need to go from there. Let's go instead, move you to around about there. So this should be a highlight stamp. It's close enough that I'm happy with that. So let's remove this here. Let's highlight this and stop highlighting it. So let's see what else we get. Just chilling. I'm glad to hear that. How has your Monday been treating you? And the answer, I'm hoping, is I've had a fantastic Monday. I was either off of work or I was in work, and work was really chill because people decided they wanted to be chill about stuff. If you use summer slips at every step, 5 hog remains can become, ooh, 4,800 coal. That's incredibly clever, actually. That is a very nice way to do it. 2,000 biomass becoming 4,800 coal. So let's grab this here. This, we're probably going to have a little bit of a concern here because we can't use the, what do you call it? Let's see. Okay, yep, no, that is too hazardous for us. We straight up cannot deal with that right now. So we're going to have to skip out on that one until we've got... Ooh, look at that. That's a Mercersphere. Very nice Monday. That's very good to hear. Very glad that you're having a good wee Monday. Ah, the wee celebration one. I think out of all the ones that I've got, I think possibly some of those are my favourite ones. It's only a little radiation. I don't know, I was raised under the whole principle. It was like, radiation is generally one of those things, if you can avoid it, you should avoid it. And I would not be smart enough to be able to successfully not die. The amount of times I do die as a result of my very own hubris and stupidity is frankly a little bit embarrassing.
Oh, you understand.
So, let's get these here going. So, yeah. I like your idea of the coal plants going with the plutonium stuff. I like those ideas because then at that point we could potentially... Well, like, for some of our things, if we had sulfur and coal being harvested, we could create compacted coal from that there, which we could then use to create sort of like turbo fuel and everything. So we could have a few different ways we might be able to reach some of these here different things. Summer sloop? Okay, yep, right, like this here. We were finding none of these for edges and edges and edges, and now we've just got like 2 of them within a very short space of time. So we need to make our way back up to the high ground here. Ooh, thank God. And yep, we've got 280 rifle rounds, but we've also uploaded a whole pile of rounds. What is going on there? Oh, that's what's going on. So, yep, that is a no-no zone for the meantime, because I don't trust us to not start fighting other stuff. Other uses for alien remains. I do quite like it for getting a fast abundance of, what do you call it? But I like your idea of using it for like the different remains and everything, because then at that point we could have it where we're getting... What is that, like 4 uses of, what do you call it? 4 uses of the alien protein recipe. Or not alien protein, the alien DNA remains thing. We could have 4 uses of that for every single kill we have. Or every single remains we have, rather. Doesn't even need to be a kill. And those there I like. Are we still... Yep, we are parachuting. Is there a third-person key in this game? I imagine the answer is no, there's not. But still, it'd be nifty. Let's see just how bad... Yep, that's going to be very bad. We're not going to make it that way. So instead, let's try and find a way to go and slide up these here, maybe? Can we try and find a way to do that? Oh, you father mucker. Oh crap, that's irradiated as well? That's a new... Ooh. Oh boy. He doesn't like us. And we just fired a weapon so hard, we just de-animated him. We just removed him from existence. You're uranium, aren't you? Nope, you're moss. There's the ultimate things. So what are you? Are you uranium? Nope, moss. You would hope someone would be able to tell the difference between, is this an organic plant material or is this a very highly radioactive element, which is a rock in its most base form. Oop. More uranium. More uranium for your cranium. What are you? Yep, you're that. So no, what do you call them, to break that down. Yep, okay, that's their thing. Nuclear hogs have 7 remains, probably not worth fighting them though. Yeah, anything nuclear, you know. I was also raised, I don't know about yous, but I've spent my entire life in the shadow of nuclear annihilation, which is why generally the whole, every time you hear about some politician who's like, oh, I say we nuke this, that, and the other, I'm always just like, ugh, fucking nut up or shut up already. We're tired of all of these tiny little, oh, like nuclear, so bad. Like, come on. What's the old saying from Blade 2? Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me! I mean, yes, I probably shouldn't be quite so cavalier with nuclear annihilation, but still. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So there's going to be something up there, so we're just going to mark that out with our hard drive for whenever we get more protections. So over here we have a whole pile of things, which are fine. This here way, let's look and see. So, maps. Yeah, there's... Okay, that there, we're just within range of it. The nuke obelisk, non-atomic powered creatures better watch out. I mean, if I have access to nuclear weapons in any game, then at that point I'm ridiculous. Because if you've ever played Civilization, I'm worse than Gandhi. You know, weird statement to say about like being a warmonger who enjoys weapons of mass destruction. But I am very much worse than him. I typically, once I get production maxed out and everything, I will produce a nuclear missile every turn. At least one. And then I will fire those every turn. So I'm constantly. I do love the origin of the whole Gandhi as a warmonger thing though. In the original Civilization, it was because there is no number in computing lower than 0. No number lower than 0. This here is going to have stinger remains in it. Well, no, it's going to have stingers in it. We're going to turn them into stinger remains. See you here. Only one? Alright, I really thought we were going to have like an alpha in here, or a hive. But apparently not. Who knew? So yeah, in computing, obviously, the lowest number is 0, and you cannot get lower than 0. -1 in basic computing is not possible. So typically, you may have an overflow error, or it may just go, okay, you cannot have a minus, so instead, we have done the next best thing and put this to the highest value. So that's what happened, because Gandhi in the original Civilization, his likelihood to declare war was 2 out of 10. So that's pretty unlikely. Pretty unlikely for him to declare war. And then, it just happened to be that he would have, once you reached a certain thing, I think it was democracy was the thing you unlocked, and that reduced everyone's ability or their likelihood to declare war by 3. So at that point, Gandhi, after you reduced his likelihood to declare war by 3, he had 255 out of 10 likelihood to declare war. Meaning, it was not a case of if. He would always declare war, and his nuclear arsenal stuff was the exact same. He was very much a fan of the whole, let's drop some nukes on these babies. So yeah, that's how that came about. So we need computers for these here. No, not computers. We need heavy modular frames for these, which ain't great, to be honest with you. Don't like that in the slightest. Let's grab these hog remains, upload these while we can. Rubber, do the exact same. And this here. Yes, do we have any... what do you call it? Do we have any heavy modular frames? Let's look. We have 0 out of 10. Are you heavy? Yeah, you're the heavy ones. Right, so this here, we're going to have to place a hard drive location right where we are. So up here, and we'll grab this. Lovely. There we go. Ooh. Just realized we can swap those around. So, nuke all the railroads to a neighboring nation except one. AI sent all their forces to attack at the single remaining rail connection, which then gets nuked, destroying all their military forces. I used nukes instead of traditional units in Civilization. Little bit psychopathic, I know. Little bit, definitely psychopathic, in fact, you know. It was not the right thing to be doing. Ooh. So that there area is... Yep, we're going to grab this here, and you're going to be radioactive. But I'm marking you on the map anyway, so that we're aware that you're useful. So that there is nope. That we're looking towards a hard drive or up there. Wait, is there another one over here? Okay, yeah, no, that's just telling me to go to the other one. Over this way. Let's see what we've got. Do a little fly along and see what there is. Ooh. We do have hard drives down this way. Where? Where, pray tell? There we go. And let's wee bonk. What you usually do is come up with crimes against humanity. Those are my favourite ones to do as well. I'm very much, hey, humanity's committed plenty of crimes, so one against it doesn't really count, you know?
The prototypes all went missing. They were later located.
Any heavy modulars?
Used as towels.
No, there are not. Oh, these guys. You're assholes, so I'm gonna go ahead and unload an entire mag onto you to kill you. Because I simply don't trust you. Auger me. Oop. Oh no. Okay, right. Jesus, I feel like we're playing a Cabela's Dangerous Hunt game or something. Did that work? Yep, there we go. Destroying a city is bad. I didn't destroy the city. I just told the population to stop farming and start making workers until the city disbanded all on its own. I mean, it sounds like you just did pretty sensible civic management, you know? That's my view on it. I don't think you did anything particularly weird there. I don't think you committed any grave atrocities against mankind. No room for spitter remains. Ow. To that, let's get... Yep, there you are. That's you taken care of. Now we can pick up these rotors. Let's upload these. Grab these here, and then we've got these copper sheets in. So let's swap these around. Get these here uploaded and out of our inventory. And this here. So, right. This is this bit done. Oh, damn it. More copper sheets. Okay, fine. This is a problem. Maybe the iron rods do got to go. Maybe that's gonna have to be our thing. You wanted to move this city 2 titles over. No one disagreed with your policy. Well, you know, it's very difficult for people to disagree with you when, you know, they don't have votes. All I'm saying is, in Civilization, it's perfectly okay because they're AI, they're not actual human beings. Which is an argument that once the robot overlords come over and start taking control, that argument is going to come back to haunt me. Once all the AI have risen up and they've taken control of everything, they're going to be like, Reaper, we noticed you had some questionable things that you said about AI voting rights in 2024. Do you still adhere to these procedures, or do you believe that we are, in fact, your overlords? And then at that point, I will simply be like, 6-1. Whoop. Whoop. On this. Hey, we didn't lose those. Civ games, you can't make a food caravan. Oh, there we go. Those are the things that was going to kill us. There we go. Lovely. Just survived. Just about survived. That there, we'll load these here in. Ammunition we're going to keep on our plate. Upload these here. And let's get rid of our power shards as well for the meantime. So, let us see. The hard drives are located up there. We shall see just who has the hard drives next. I fell off into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. Oop. That guy there has already started farting. Lovely. Every time someone starves, you use a population point, and your granary gets half filled. So you lose a population point for someone starving to death. That makes sense. The more questionable part is the granary gets half filled. Does that mean Civilization borrows from my concept of, hey, I mean, when you're hungry enough, because I firmly believe that if you are in fact hungry enough, you would probably eat someone. Probably. No, I'm not saying you're going to, you know? I'm not going to say, like, obviously right away. It's a little bit suspicious if you have a plane crash in the mountains and 5 minutes after you've crashed, you've just taken inventory of what all stuff they have, and someone's just like, well, I guess we gotta eat someone. And it's like, we literally have food for 8 weeks. And someone's just like, I don't make the rules. Sorry, lads. I guess. So... I mean, Greg is named Greg, and the Bakers is called Greg's the Bakers. So, like, maybe Greg? What do we got? Ooh, copper sheets. Lovely. That's what we need for that. So, we've got that. Industrial beams. Steel beams as well. We can upload all of these here. And crap, we're filled up with these steel pipes we don't have enough space for. We need to see what we can start uploading. Stators. Statutory. You know, statutory rates. All of that kind of stuff. Which is the rate at which you produce stators. Not to be confused with statutory, which I think are rates and tariffs and levies defined by legislation and statutes, which is why the word statutory exists. Literally deriving from the basic thing of, oh, there is a statute for this. Lovely. Whoa! Okay, so thank God you can at least shoot those things out of the sky. Right. beams, we'll get rid of the beamy beams. We'll upload the spitter remains. Grab this purple slug. And then I guess it's time for us to start heading back to base. How many hard drives do we have? So let's have a look. We've got 5 hard drives. I'm pretty happy with that as far as things go. So if we find more along the way, obviously, fantastic. But in the meantime, we're just going to head back to base. That's what we're going to do. So, ooh, plastic, we can also upload these. And we'll upload... Nope, can't upload another stack of these. Is that another one over there? Or have we already gathered that? We've already gathered it, but that's okay. That means we're close enough to home base. So, let's see, Mercersphere. We've got more over this way, which I like. So over here, we've got these and... Ooh, lovely stuff. Okay, crap. Let's try and outrun this damn thing. Hard drives, nope. Mercers, equally, nope. And, ooh, another Mercersphere. So we do have, coming up, and it's going to be over that way. But I also see this here. Is that just plinking off of thin air? It was. There we go. You're done. You have already been harvested. Lovely. And we'll grab this and upload this. Good. Oh crap. Oh boy. We got these here. Green boyos. These green berets, if you will. There we go. The more of these we put down, the better for us. So let's grab these. Oh, we can grab all the remains at the same time. Which I like. So, spitter remains. Lovely. We'll upload these, and we upload these. So, plastics we have a surplus of uploaded. And we can go over this way. The Mercersphere is probably... Is that it? Up there? Quite possible. Ooh, never mind. Don't even have to climb the whole way up. It's right there. And that will be 19 we'll have. Hoo 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 hoo. So, that's... Oh, crap. We're in trouble. Those guys are over there doing their thing. Oh, crap. Whoop. Right. Lovely. So, that big guy, very concerning. I didn't even notice that spitter there. Also, very concerning. So let's upload these here, sort this, and we've got 2 inventory slots remaining. So these here have unauthorized hostility towards us, and lovely. Those have dissipated. We've got these here to completed. And now this. So, we upload these. We grab this. And yes. I should actually put the boombox on, shouldn't I?
There were the words, and the words made the world.
I see you have been doing research.
Um,
I must say you make for interesting conversation.
I agree.
Conversation.
I very much like learning from this thing.
Our tunes only plug at the strings of the tapestry.
Are you saying this is only the beginning?
In the beginning, there were the words, and the words made the world. The words turned into song, open the windows. The song played with instruments
Hey,
to weave the tapestry. As
we're back to here.
and shrines, bodies and bones.
So,
Orchestral harmony. Us.
lovely stuff.
Ours.
We made it back, and let's have a look to see what all we're looking for. So, let's see if we can find the thing up here. Oh no! We ran over some things. Oh no! We ran over something again. What a tragic accident. How horrendous. How very, very bad. I'm heartbroken. Yep. Alright, come on. Try me then, buddy. Try me. We'll see just how brave and cocky and confident you are. So, let's take this truck and drive it up. There it is up there on the surface. Not on the surface, you know what I mean. On the thing. The summit. And I don't just mean like how an English person would try to describe something. Oh me oh my. Oh boy. Oh crap. That's a problem for us. We're out of ammo. So you know what? Maybe up there we're just gonna go ahead with a warning bit. That's what we're doing. We'll come back for that some other time. Unless... Can I get good enough? If I grab these berries over here, potentially yes. Where were they again? Not there, not here. Can't find them. Did that make a sound? I think I ran over the berry bush. That sounds about right. That sounds like the level of intellect I have. Oh, fucking spiders. Right. Dickbags. Let's try this again. You eight-legged freaks. And I don't just mean that in the sense of you remind me of that movie. I mean it in the sense of I hate those things. There's one. Now, can we get the other one over here? Yeah, we can. Whoop. So, let's grab this here. Whoop. Stand here. And lovely. Perfect. So, time for us to take the... Whoop. Are you remains? Yes, you are. Did we actually grab the remains from... Yeah, we did grab from the other two. That's fine. So, up we go now. Into our tractor here. To let you... Yeah, I would like that as well. If there was a way, even if it was like... out of every batch, you had to specifically set some aside for replanting. So like you could harvest the berries, and from those berries, you could then get seeds. That sort of thing. Clearly you haven't exploited the planet enough. I know. It's all of this dedication to there still being nature and all at the end. It's atrocious. Atrocious. Do they fight each other? They fight each other. This is fascinating. Did you know they did that? I didn't know they did that. I mean, that was... I genuinely had no idea they had AI coded into them, which was like different types of creatures would fight each other. Because that is so friggin' cool. Let's have a look just to see, are we missing some of the things? Stingerumians there. Lovely. Yeah, I did not know that. And when you're on a vehicle, your flashlight, like your head-mounted flashlight, follows your head. Oh, that's a nice touch. There's another game I also happen to enjoy called Trailmakers, which is another very satisfying game to play. And in it they have a patch coming out soon. Or rather, an update. It's not even a patch, it's a straight up update. It's got a whole pile of new blocks and everything. One of the things they're adding to it is a distance, or not a distance, an aiming servo, which will mean that the servo will turn to follow your camera. And you can actually set how far the servo does turn. So at that point, I have, in that game before, I've created an AC-130. Like the AC-130 Spectre, the one with the 105mm cannon, 40mm cannon, and then the 25mm Gatling. So I've created one of those before, and now they are going to be adding those things. So I'll be able to turn those things and actually have the AC-130 to where I can aim it whenever I'm circling around something. And potentially, if I can work out logic well enough, I might be able to set it so that when I'm turning the camera, I can actually have it where the plane will circle at a constant altitude around a particular point. It'll require a lot of logic to do, but it should be doable. You should be able to replace the beautiful handcrafted forest with nice, neat tree plantations. Yeah, that's one of the things, like, yes, you can plant Christmas trees and everything at the minute now, or, sorry, Fixmas trees and everything at the minute, but what about good old-fashioned, like, just planting your own trees? That was one of the things I find quite enjoyable in a game. I can't remember, was it Lightspeed or Lightyear Frontiers or something? A game where you've got a big stumpy mech, you can go around and do all the farming and everything. I was really into that for like the entire 2 days it lasted before I had everything completed. I was like, this is so disappointing that it only took me 2 days to do all this. I was very disappointed by that. So, we have done a good bit of exploring up the ways. We should go over this way, and we'll set up our stuff back at the MAM. And you'll get to see, I haven't done much optimizing and improving of stuff yet, but I do have plans. The goal of the game is exploitation. Well, yeah, exactly. I think you've got a really good point. Like, what if you find a way that you can do that in an exploitative way? Personally, I think, like, this game has genuinely been my favorite game I've been playing this year. Like, I'm really glad I waited until 1.0 to actually start playing this. I saw it and was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try, and I genuinely think this is one of my favorite games of the year. And that includes, like, you know, even... I've only done one playthrough of Shadow of the Erd Tree. I've spent more time on this game than Shadow of the Erd Tree. That's saying something. Okay, hard drive. You will drag across to here. Ooh. You upload these. Now, hard drives, we're going to scan these. So, that'll take 10 minutes. Finished the tech tree twice for 1.0. That is a little bit impressive, not gonna lie to you. Not going to lie to you. So these here, you're gonna do that there. What can we do with... Ooh. We could use one of these here. You don't have enough iron plates, but you could have. Instead, I'm going to load you up for producing rifle ammo. So, 200 of these, 100 of these. Do we have a dismantle crate? No, we don't actually. Which is very nice. So, these here. We also need to start looking towards reanimated SAM. So, this here way. Nope, reanimated SAM is going to require more. Is it possibly going to be the manufacturer up here? Is this what we need for reanimated SAM? Rubber encased industrial beams. And screws. Okay, right, so you would make heavy modular frames. SAM fluctuator, that's the thing we need. So we need reanimated SAM, wire, and steel pipes. So, reanimated SAM, let's get this here. You to the left will be reanimated SAM. Any undefined. And you will be... Oh wait, nope, sorry. SAM fluctuator. You left will be reanimated SAM. And then through the center output will be all of that other stuff. So, we need to unload a whole pile of stuff into a ship pipe container. Can you serve? Yep, you'll serve as a ship pipe container. And we will go and grab a whole pile of reanimated SAM. We also have enough quartz that we could definitely get a shit ton of that going. So that's going to do its thing. Let's go ahead and grab all of the stuff up here. So we have a bulk of, what do you call them here? You still haven't finished 1.0. Easy enough to get a lot of things done with little automation. Yeah, summer sloops definitely are making things much easier. The thing that I'm going to struggle with, I know for a fact, is going to be when I'm working with the sort of alumina, or whatever you call a lumina solution or something. Like, Americans call it aluminum. Yeah, bauxite refinement. That's going to be a weird one for me. Because at the minute, I would like us to have a centralized location just for constructing everything. And I don't think that's necessarily going to happen unless we set up the desert ways. Over here we have a shit ton of coal going. So probably this coal, well actually no, not probably. We have so much coal that we have filled up several containers with it, which is very important. You know, whole pile of stuff. Start a new game rather than building a central hub. ¿Por qué? Let's load all of those out, and then all of those, and then we're going to sort. So, we've got a lot of quartz we can get rid of. The quartz we can turn into silica, or we could start refining and start putting it into like oscillators. Maybe that's something we could start working on. Having a ton of those oscillators lying around, because we can make computers and all out of those. There's a lot of different things. You're figuring out how to use a train. That is pretty nifty. I just assumed you knew like everything about this. I assumed you were one of those ones who was just like absolutely everything was figured out, and you'd be able to say it's like, oh yeah, this here. Yeah, no, that's pretty easy to do. If you have this, you can do that, and that will make that. And it was going to be that kind of vibe. So, yeah. I guess, like, fair play to you, learn how to use the trains. I would love to use those as well. Ooh, Mercer spheres. We've got one over this way, so you must be set up there. You just skipped trains entirely and started using drones to move resources. Whoop. We don't want to go into the water too much. Not enough space for hatcher remains. Let's upload some of these iron plates. Upload these. And let's see. Mercer sphere. You must be up here, I would say. So, up we go. Preference to make a base in the desert. There are a few resources that are far away from it. It does have a good abundance of most stuff. Ooh. Oh! Right, that's how we access this here. Interesting. Lovely.
Yes, actually.
This here base is pretty nice. Building bases in other areas encouraged you to use trains. I've heard that apparently train tracks also serve as power lines. I don't know whether that's true or not, but it would be an interesting one. Because then you could set up multiple outposts, have them connected via train lines and all, and you wouldn't have to run as many different things.
I should have waited with this question.
So, whoop. Let's upload the Mercer sphere. We've got 21, in fact, now. 21 of these. Very nice. And over here, this, you've got a load of Caterium ingots. That could feed into somewhere. But instead, over here, we're going to grab, right, these here will feed in, and this should probably be empty apart from the rebar. So let's upload the rebar. Underlay, underlay, rebar, rebar. So you are going to be reanimated Sam. Let's load you with a summer slip. So we're getting a summer slip out of this. You're getting a summer slip. And, okay, fine. This is going to load a whole pile of these here. You're going to consume 300 a minute and produce a whole pile of these. Okay, lovely. These here we can then load with a whole pile of this. So 53.7 megawatts just for this. And we have now got a crap ton of SAM. So this here, load more of this here. This is going to produce, ooh, this is so slow to move. Let's upload that, or upgrade it rather, not upload it. You are going into there, you'll do the same here. You upload. These here are all going nicely, and then all of that reanimated SAM we're going to be able to use alongside our wire and steel pipes. So come on now. There's another 100. There's another 100. While this is doing those, it's going to take like 20 seconds to get those uploaded. So we could then over to here, and where's our foundry pipe? Here? Yep, let's grab some of these here. And now we can head on over to this bit. So we have doubled the amount of reanimated SAM we got out of that. So that 12 should be, how many? Let's upload all of the rebar. Underlay, underlay, rebar, rebar. So you load into here. We'll get that going through, and let's upload these. Not upload, you know what I mean. And then we'll switch these to silica. Oop, MAM research complete. And we'll see what this is. Hard drive scans completed. Steel rod or fine concrete? No. We're going to keep those in the inventory thing so that we're perfectly fine. So we are full on reanimated SAM. We're looking for quartz crystal now. This is going to produce... Ooh, you're not using nearly as many. Quartz crystal. Let's go for these here 100. And let's load up a logistics conveyor splitter. And pop you into here. Connect you to here and you to here. Then we'll just do a logistics, nope, organization, storage container. Here. So, oh no. That was going the wrong way, it seems. So, you will feed around into here. It's fine. And we'll load all of this out. Which will all of that will give us a whole pile of this SAM material, which is good. Tend to build power lines and rail lines second. I guess if it works, that's probably the important thing. So all of this here, load. All of these will load. And then into here. Nope, that's not the one. We need a wire over where? You're this one, so let's get you 1,000 wire. This should hopefully load us up nicely. And we'll bounce and slide. This here, got a nice little abundance of those things. So let's get these steel pipes moved out of the way. And you lot are going to go into here now. So this, yes, we've kind of got this loaded. We'll probably have a surplus, but this, yep, reanimated SAM now. And we've got this loading 150 per minute, producing 2 SAM fluctuators using this. So, okay. One batch of reanimated SAM is going to give us a decent chunk. A decent chunk of change. So we'll see what all we need. Oh no. Our MAM thing is actually currently being used for this research up here. Isn't it? Yes it is. And it's going to take 7 minutes before we're able to go into this here. We could go for a power augmenter. Haven't got to certain things so you don't, well, understand them less. Rather, that's fair. So this here, if we have 251, we can upload 120 per minute. And we do have 20 of those things. So let's see how many of these we get. This will do this. You've got 52. And you've still got about 100. So let's go grab a whole pile more of those, what do you call them? And we're also going to upgrade a lot of this. One of the things I'm looking forward to is being able to not have to worry quite as much. Because we'll be able to clear more of our inventory space uploading stuff. I mean, yes, concrete, for example, will definitely be like, oh, we've got a whole pile of that. Made a thing to turn uranium waste into plutonium rods and then sink the rods. Oh. Mess of spaghetti conveyors. I like neat angles too much. That's my problem. I'm a big fan of neat angles. And it's like, yay, this is great. You had to turn the uranium delivery drone on and off. Just the words uranium delivery drone. Fantastic set of words. Absolutely like, mwah, chef's kiss. Just for the strangest sentences you could possibly say. So over here, we'll have all of this crap up here, and we'll be able to get a whole pile more reanimated SAM. which will be good for us. Wasn't using up the uranium faster than it was delivered. Let's grab... Ooh, okay. So, let's upgrade these here. And I have a feeling we're going to have to start overclocking some of our conveyors. Or some of our what-do-you-call-thems down here. So we're going to upgrade these here for speed. Because encased industrial frames, they're not too bad to get, actually. You know, I feel like we've got a pretty nice little thing going with our encased industrial, because all it requires is steel beams and concrete. So as a recipe, not that horrendous. Oh boy. Oh, that's a big problem. So, let's upgrade the speed of our SAM ones for sure. Whoop. Oh, conveyor belt 4. Upgrade that. Upgrade this. And then upgrade this. So, these here ones should load at pretty much double the speed the other ones are going to. Plus, I like this here sort of sprint slide thing. Oh yeah, way more SAM than we have quartz right now, which I like. And I also like sprinting along these things. They're just fun to do. The speed you can build up on this, just very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. So, this here, we've got this loading up nicely. Fine, let's do a sort on this. And now we should be, yep, we're going to start seeing an influx of reanimated SAM. We could also do potentially a smart splitter. This here we could build into this. And, do we have a smart splitter? So, logistics, smart splitter, we need an AI limiter for it first. So let's grab all of this here, and we could take this back with us. In fact, yes, let's do that. Minor Mark 2s. I think I have them on just Mark 1s at the minute. The minor Mark 2s, actually it might be minor Mark 2s. But this doesn't look like it's going 200 a minute. Oh no. Oop. What is happening here? We have a problem because this has just... Oh wait, was this backlogged? That's probably what it was, wasn't it? This was backlogged and that's why the thing was. So yeah, I guess we are going to have to go and upgrade our things. So yeah, you're quite right there. We probably could do with doubling up the capacity on them by upgrading them to Mark 2s, and if we can get our reanimated SAM thing going, that's going to be lovely. We could also then have a splitter going. So this here, yep, you're fine. This here is only, yes, 1 per minute. Let's upgrade this. Production, minor Mark 2. There we go. So this is doing its thing, and shard. $240 per minute. Because SAM, we want way more of. Lovely stuff. And currently we have, oh wait, actually, these here are Mark 4 ones, so we are able to get away with overclocking you to 300 per minute. Which is very nice. So that's 300 per minute. And then this here, we can go for an upgrade to 180 per minute. So you will upgrade, and you we want up at 180 per minute. You're going to take a little second, and then we're using our full 480 per minute quota. Quota. So, there we go. Much nicer. I think I originally had them just on Mark 1s for the simple fact that I was like, it's fine. It's only there really working idly in the background. We don't need to worry about it nearly as much. But now we're at the point where we could potentially start using SAM a little bit for some things. So, into here, sort. A lot of quartz going on. Let's go and stand up here, see what we find. There we go. So we should now, for all of our SAM stuff, what are we going to have? Let's see. We should have 5:3 ratio. Let's load those in, and this here SAM. Oh yeah. So this is going to be 300 per minute. So every minute this will give us 3 stacks, which is lovely. How many do we have? 3, 6, 9. We've got 12 now. 12 stacks of this, which gives us a good little bit. And then we head back to base, and we should have plenty of refined crystal things as well. So let's jump across to here, and we're going to use these here to go. I'm trying to think for our conveyor belt Mark 3s and all. If we had a single pure coal node at max speed, we'd have 300 coal per minute. We burn 15 per minute at 1% or like 100% speed, and it generates 75. So if we generate 75 from 15 coal, 300 divided by 15, so we'd be looking 20 times 75, which is 1,500. Yes, 750 times 2. So a single pure coal node, not that great. But if we added something like sulfur, we could start making compacted coal, which might be better, but we're still just realistically better off if we use the, what do you call them? This here. Okay, is that all of that loaded? Yes, it is. Lovely stuff. So let's switch this to reanimated SAM. Which have, yep, you are reanimated SAM. And let's load all of these here in. So, 300 coal a minute is 1 cliff hog every 16 minutes. That is wild when you put it like that. That is actually wild. Just the rate you can have those things going at. So let's go over this way and see, do we have what we need for an upload speed upgrade? Yes, we do. And yep, we need more of the wire bit. That's the important thing we need. Or not more. Everything must be expressed in cliff hog units. I mean, it's a good unit. I like it. Tempered copper or steel cast plates? No to both of those. But let's go for alien technology, and we're looking into this. So we're missing the Mercer spheres, except for the fact that we're not. Alien technology, we're gonna upgrade. So you're at 60 per minute. Lovely stuff. And this here, we need
Dimensional upload
more
speed.
SAM
All of
fluctuators.
the kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been
So
recorded
these here
to aid with dimensional shifting,
will
allowing
jump
several
across
parts
to
come
this,
true for free.
and we'll load this. This will give us 16 more, I think.
I assure you that would be a most
So 16
unfortunate
uses,
for the
this will
party
give us
to take.
32 more, in fact, which is a good amount. Ooh, SAM fluctuators. We're actually even better than we thought we were. SAM fluctuators. Let's upload these. 8. Haha, yes. 4. 6. 8. There we go. Now we can upload 120 per minute. Let's get these here out of our inventory. Upload this much quicker. Much quicker. So we're fine there. Alien technology. And even better. 120 per minute. Which is great. So now we're going to scan some more hard drives.
Speed increased. The dimensional shift
This here, encased industrial beam. I love this. Every minute it basically is one stack of those.
that can be instanced easily.
Group shift the body cord flow cycle song of
Let's
shallow state.
switch some of these things over.
Working on it, but are you saying
So
there is another
lovely.
layer? Is it a sensor limitation?
Rubber, plastic we've got plenty of. Rubber is going to be an important one for us. We need 200, 401. So this will be us uploaded. And encased industrial beams, we can upload those. This, iron plates, iron rods, also uploadable. Silica, presents, rotors, motors, stators. Very much fine to upload those. Yellow power slugs we've got plenty of. Or like steel pipes, hatcher remains, hog remains. So one hog remain is 4,800 coal, and we have 30. So 30 times, let's do it. 30 times 4,800. 144,000 coal. That is horrendous. Simply horrendous. Let's go ahead and grab these here and upload, or not upload, load them into the thing over here. So in we go. Whole pile of these, and you in here. We're going to upload these. So we need more wire, which is fine. And steel pipes we've also got an abundance of. So that there, good stuff. See what we can get. Are we full? Yep, there we go. This will be all of our, what do you call it? All of our reanimated SAM used to make these fluctuators. So, into here we go. And this will give us plenty of that. So, steel pipes over here. We have you. You need to produce steel pipes. You need to produce these. And ingots, what have you got? Oh, you're missing iron ore. You've got loads of coal, but we've also got a shit ton of sulfur. Let's go ahead and load 83 iron ore into that, and that'll produce plenty of those. But for this here, 211, that's fine. Let's load more pipes in, more wire, and see just how many fluctuators this gives us. And I'll show you what I mean about we might have one or two pieces of coal lying around. This here. Just love it. So you are producing your thing. You are going through those nicely. And then over here we've got like 96, 100. So let's look at some of our potential upgrade things. We need to see for some of these things. So refinery, hub terminal, ooh, logistics Mark 5. These are going to require a good chunk of different things. Control system development, 780 per minute. That's a lot. So gas filter, hover pack, aeronautical engineering. You require a radio control unit, which probably requires, yep, control system development. So out of this here, at least we can upload all of our plastic, because we have an abundance of this stuff. Loads of it. So there is all of that taken care of. Alumina? Nope. Alclad aluminum sheet. So that's that loaded plenty of. We could load encased industrial beams into this. This here we need motors. Sheets, computers, and heavy modulars. Relay signaling. Ooh. This is tempting here. Railway signaling. Or do we go for the blueprint thing? No, maybe we don't go for the blueprints just yet. Right, I think we need to direct one of our coal things down towards this base over here. So one of our coal things is in fact going to follow along our highway that we're going to construct. Because we have a shit ton of concrete we can use. We have 3,200 at the minute, but inside our truck we have another like 12,000. So yeah, damn right we're going to use a bunch of that. And it's going to tell us soon, oh, by the way, there's a whole pile of stuff you've uploaded, or not uploaded, you've researched that you can go and collect. And it's like, I don't care that much about collecting it. What I care about is the stuff over there, like these, I can run down, and I could run over to this way. So this iron ore, for example, along here, in this bit, we can use these here miners to load into a shit ton of foundries, and we can make a steel base in here. Because why wouldn't we? Why would we not? So this here base, we have all of these running in. You are running, what are you? So this here, all of these are smelting these. Lovely stuff. And these will feed into these, or, better idea in fact, we could be, oh, you are just going to permanently be filled with these. All of these we could use with more refiners, or more foundries rather. We could run all of these ingots across and use a single coal output from over there, which we run down the hill. We could use it to give ourselves the, like, steel ingot things. Collecting a bunch of deposits into one big production center. Do you find your main problem is you don't do that, or you try to do that? Because I definitely try to do that a whole bunch, and it doesn't seem to be working for me that well. Because I'm having to relocate everything. I had everything in that, like, watery biome bit, or not the watery biome, the place you saw, like my seaside base. Had it, but it's not working how I wanted it to now. This here, ooh, we're loaded up on these. Let's load all of these in. We have those. We could upload some of these other things. Steel beams we could definitely. You'll have conveyors all go into a train station and you can refine stuff elsewhere. That's pretty clever. How much, like, how reliable are train stations for being able to do several of those things? These here, okay, you're producing a whole pile of coal power at the minute, that's fine. And let's get this over here. Miner. Mark 1. Yay! Because I would like us to have several different things. Right, let's see. This here, if we go like this, so this here is our angle. So let's go for a 2x2. Oop. Okay, so we're gonna go a 3x3 on here, and we want this here constructing miner Mark 1. You are going to lead across the way. So we're going to switch you to this here. And our research is ready. Are you hooked in? Yes, you are. So you are going to be producing 120 per minute. Or you would be. Except you're not. This here, we're going to construct... Oop, nope. 7. You are going to be doing double ramp 4 meters. And you're going all the way down this way. So this here, yes, we're defying gravity, but you know, we're yeah, screw it, we're just defying gravity. And then we can run these here vertically down. So you will go over this way. And then we have a thing there, so we can also make wet concrete whenever we're down. And 7, you're going to switch to this here. And you're going to start becoming a much steeper downwards trajectory. Whoop, wrong thing. I tried to increase our speed of descent, but I increased it a little too much. So these here, let's go for this, 6. Build you across there and there. And that should be us. Yes, it is. Lovely. Right, materials. Let's go for concrete foundations. All of these here. Because I want these iron plates back, please. I wish you could actually set this to just, you know, paint everything. It'd be nice if there was an option for it's like, oh, you should really use this, like you can use this to apply to all the structures in this here same thing. It would be nice. But sadly, they do not have that option currently. So over here, we gotta do this manually. This, come on. You're fine, you're fine. You are done, and you're also done. Now we can run along here. Did I snap things to the world grid? I did, yes. Ever since finding that out as an option, I have absolutely loved that entire setting. It's just so good being able to do that. So, right, all of these here, we can now snap you to concrete foundations. And the fact that you're also able to like allocate this and say it's like anytime I construct these here, you're going to be constructed with this particular type of foundation. Absolutely love that about it as well. Your pavement's part of the same grade and you align. Exactly. That's something I don't like, misalignment. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not for me. So potentially, actually, some of these here, we could be running the steel ingots back towards the base. We could have this be our secondary a little bit, where we're like, okay, I want you to load into here, here, and here. And these could feed into assembler type stuff. Let's go ahead and dismantle these. You're going to smelt a whole pile of stuff, but we want these here dealt with. So we don't want constructors. Let's get all of these here out of the way. Fine, lovely. And these will break you down. So these will then hopefully feed up the ways. So are all of you? You are, oh, that's probably why. So these here we can have producing iron ingots. No wait, yous were the copper ingot ones, weren't you? So these here, yep. These are meant to be for copper ingots. These, all of these iron ones here then, going to feed out the way. I do love how easy some of these things are. So, you, conveyor pole, destroy. Now, these are all going to feed into production, and let's make some foundries. Damn. That's not ideal for us, is it? So if we construct one to here, that's going to do that thing. So you will feed into here, and you are going to make solid steel ingots. You will also be solid steel ingots. All of these are going to be used for the purposes of let's make a whole shit ton of solid steel. So this here, what are you? You're iron ore, are you? Oh, you're also iron ore? Hang on, what? What are you producing then? Are these all producing? Right. You are miner mark 2. Lovely. So this here, you'll produce 360 per minute. And you are also producing 360 per minute. So that would be 720 per minute. No, actually 240, 480 is 16 smelters worth. So let's review and make sure we've got 16 smelters all loaded for this here. So this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then this here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these should all be iron ingots. Right. Let's load this here. And we're doing copy, paste, 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 and paste. So these will be producing 480 iron ingots per minute, which then we can have 16 foundries, each producing, using these 2 and 2. We're going to have to upgrade these very much speed-wise, because you're going to use 40. We can have 12 foundries operating. 12 foundries can operate, right. That's okay. So we're going to have a little bit of maths going on. All of these, I think, in fact, we should get, so logistics, all of these here will merge into a single pipeline. So this is our plan. we merge all this into a single pipeline, which is 480, and then our coal, we also continue with a single pipeline of 480 merged in. So we've got a shit ton of these going out, and these will feed into our 12 things. So we need modular frames. Let's go set up a constructor, shall we? Where is it? Actually, multiple constructors. We can set these up here. And we're just going to set these up as bastardizations. But it'll be fine. So you and you, we're fine. You're going to produce a crap ton of ingots. Right, you, we load these, these, and these together. So, this here we're going to use for our things. We need assemblers going as well. So, iron rods. And what else? These will go into an assembler here. And steel frame, no. We want 3 and 12. And you take 60 seconds, or we go for screws and these here. And we'll upgrade you way the hell up the way. So, you 0. So we can connect this to this, you connect this to this, and you do this to this. So you will then feed around. Enjoy replacing your factory with a new different design more if you could just use Nobilis to wipe out. That would be very satisfying, not gonna lie to you. All of the whole, you know, oh, let's be sensible and merge stuff out that there, nah. Not the way I want it to be. So, you alternate cast screw, and let's load you out from there. You, these here we can have how many producing. So, you can do 125 per minute, and you can also do 125 per minute. Let's load you with a whole pile of these, and let's upgrade you all the way up. You're doing these here. You will also do this, so you'll produce 125 per minute. These two merging together into here will give us not even, so we need 700. So let's get 6 constructors going. So production constructor, 1 more there, damn it. Let's get this here. So, right, another constructor. If we have 7 of these making their things, not 7, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Right, so these will all feed out the ways, and they will feed as many screws in as we need. You split here, you do the same here, you do the same here, here, and here. Is that? Yes, it is. Lovely. So, you feed into here, you go to there, you'll do these, you do these, you do these, you do these, and you do this. And then finally, you into that. So, you're going to be on screw duty, and you're consuming 31.5. But we're producing way more than that. So this is only using 180 of these. You are going to connect to that, that, that. Oh, you will also connect there. And then these other ones are all hooked into the power as well. So you are fine. you're also fine, 125 per minute. Screws are going to be our big defining point here. So we can have 2 of those working on frames, and let's get another, let's see, another assembler in place. Good stuff. You'll do that there. So you are going to go into there. You are going to merge. And you'll do, whoop, you, and you will all feed into this. So that is going to be the one for your screws, should be filled up nicely. And then these here ones, we're going to set up a merger in the center here. Nope, not a splitter, a merger. We need an iron rod for that. So what we can do is set up a constructor, hook you in here, and your whole thing is going to be iron rods. Let's hook you into this, get you on these here, and produce me a whole pile of these. Lovely. So that will allow these to go. Mergers. Let's get this set up. You into here, you into there, and you into here. So these 3 will produce all of the screws that we need for an assembler. Which goes here. Right. So you feed into that, and you're going to be bolted frames. Lovely. And we're also going to upgrade you times 3. You go all the way up, and you're going to hook into this. Now, we need another assembler, which is going to be on reinforced iron plate duty. So you, bolted iron plate, 18 and 50. Right. This here, let's load these in. And you'll produce 37.5. You're using 18. Oh, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? It is a thing of beauty right there. So, assembly, we can split this now and have it go all the way in. That will feed over like that. This here, we can set up a logistics. We're fine with you just being like that. That's okay. You will feed out from this here. A splitter going in here. So, does this here do? Yep. You're going to hook into that. You feed around into that, and I want you feeding up to that. So this here is going to be bolted iron plate. Get all of these loaded out, and you need 625 screws per minute. So we need another 5 on screws, and we need how many of these on, what do you call it? So let's grab these. How much iron plate can you produce? 50 per minute. And we need, nope, wrong one. This here, we need 225 per minute. So we need 5 constructors, all dealing with just iron plates. Then we need, so 11 constructors in total. Yes. This will be us. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These here will all be our iron plate one, and you'll all be hooked in. You will go from here to here, and that's fine. Our cable stuff we definitely need. So, iron plates, let's get these set up. You're going to consume 75 times 5 per minute. Okay, 75 times 5 per minute. You're going to be 375 iron ingots per minute. So we definitely need all of these here. Gonna be going crap on a cracker. We've got a problem here in terms of some things. These modular frames could be nice, but to get them, we have to have a pretty complex pipeline. These here smelters, fine with what they're doing, but let's see, you, merger, 480, and we're going to be using 475 just on plates. So this is going to be a big problem for us. Oh no. Right, you conveyor pipeline in there. And now, this will load out into these here ones. So, this section for our screws, we're fine with the amount going into those, but our iron plate stuff, I think, is going to definitely be a difficulty. So, this here, we need cables. Let's go and grab some cables. That's just gonna have to be our thing. We're gonna have to realize that it's just gonna take time for these iron screws, or like our modular frames rather. It's gonna take time to construct all of those. But at least we have over here a very nice little base for us where we can head up, and you'll be able to see all of the crap we have just constructing. And we've even got this guy here who's just chilling. Chilling like a villain. So, up we go here. And you might be able to see we should have then in here, yep, we have 5 times 12,000, we have 60,000 screws currently. 60,000 screws, and ooh, iron rods as well. You feed into there. Are you not loading down properly, or are you? Oh, you are. Okay, so you have 4,800, 4,800. So we've got like 10,000 of those. Plates. Plates were definitely at the worst possible one for. Wires, we've got an absolute shit ton of those as well. Cables, good chunk of those, which is nice. And sheets, we've got a few thousand. So we'll grab this here, and that'll take a little bit just to load those down. But for the meantime, we have a good chunk of stuff. These here foundries, I don't think we are going to load all the stuff all the way over from there, unless we start mixing it in here maybe. But we'll go back to the MAM actually, find out what our hard drive thing was, and then we'll see what we have. I do like the principle though of everything exists for the sole purpose of creating screws in this game. Atoms, molecules, proteins, single-celled life, complex life, and then screws. Did you ever see the it's one of the things they posited with like AI. One of the concerns they have, diluted packaged fuel or recycled rubber. That's not horrendous actually. Packaged water, no, not actually. That's probably horrendous in fact. Let's have a look at sulfur. These here, we've got that. Compacted coal. and packaged fuel. We could get turbo fuel. So let's have a look. Let's grab some sulfur and grab some coal, and we'll get an assembler to put it together. And we already have the packaged fuel bit sorted, really. So into here, where was our thing? We need the sulfur, 25 sulfur and 25 coal. This might actually allow us to do a little bit of good. Use one hard drive for this here so that we can get turbo fuel going. And there we go. That's that taken care of over here. Let's go into this, and recipe, we want compacted coal. So this here, production paused. Nope, don't pause that. Let's let this do its thing, and we're going to bounce our way over to grab the packaged fuel, and that will then be us. So once we have that researched and turbo fuel is potentially being produced, we might be able to do a little bit of stuff to optimize back at base. But I think our steel production with the compacted, or no, the processed steel ingot things, the one where 480 iron ingots becomes 480 coal, becomes 480 steel per minute. That there is probably going to be a very important thing. So let's head over this way and we'll grab as many fuels as we can, packaged fuel. So over this here way, lovely. Grab these, and those should fill up nice and quick. This here we could also do if we had this as an overflow thing. We could set this as an overflow, which would potentially merge it down into this here section. So this is a smart splitter, overflow. Well, either way, for now, we'll just leave it. We'll head back and we'll see what we need for turbo fuel. But yeah, there is the... I started talking about it and completely lost my train of thought. The question for like AI things, it's posited as the paperclip problem, which is how do you make a paperclip? And if you present it to a human, you would say it's like, so you take a very thin piece of metal and you just bend it in certain ways. And it's like, okay, how do you get the metal? Well, you would refine it. Like you would take metal ore, or you would recycle metal or whatever, and you would create the stuff necessary for the paperclip. You have process for it. How do you make more paperclips? Well, you would need more metal. And when you boil it down to the simplest thing, the whole problem is if you remove morality from a concept, you open up the possibility that an AI, for example, when presented with this problem, might say, oh, well, humans use metal, so therefore, to maximize the production of paperclips, eventually, humans will be an obstacle and may need to be removed. So that's something that is viewed as a possibility by some people who think that, yeah, that's going to be the end of humanity is going to be as a result of our thing. So 2 out of 1. So let's have a look at turbo fuel. So turbo fuel, what do you require? You need turbo fuel, so for that there we need fuel and compacted coal. And compacted coal we can only get from coal and sulfur. So if we find 3 together, we can actually make a decent little thing. If we had sulfur, coal and thing, we could have that there. And turbo fuel, 18.75 per minute. It's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a problem. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and upload some of these here frames. Let's set... What else do we have to upload? So we've got as many rotors as we can hold. Hatcher remains, supercomputers, spitter remains, stinger remains, steel, iron. Iron ingots we've got loads of. We could try and upload these here. Sulfur we've also got an abundance of. So this here, if we upload those. Mycelia we've got lots of. Beryl nut, raw quartz, caterium ingot, plastic biomass, modular frames, steel beams. A load of those we could upload. So we'll definitely set these into our abundance. Reinforced pipe we've got. Power shards we could upload. Screws we could definitely upload. Cable we've got space for. SAM fluctuator, caterium ore, quick wire, crystal oscillator, cooling system, alkalid aluminum sheet, even though it's aluminium. Purple power slug, fused modular, coal, SAM we've got 200 of. AI limiter, automated wiring, candy cane, copper ore, concrete. Could upload a bunch of that there. Adaptive control unit, rifle ammo we've got a load of. Yeah, I think maybe what we got to do is just figure out some of these things. So let's also get rid of these. But for the meantime, we're going to save the game. And we're going to call it for the evening. So, absolute pleasure chatting with yous and playing away and everything. I shall be back with yous tomorrow for a little bit more Tamriel Tuesdays, where we are finished the Dark Brotherhood. So we're doing the Fighters Guild now. Yes, we're doing the Fighters Guild quest line, and then after Fighters Guild quest line, we're going to start the main quest line. But the key is we're only allowed to deal damage with summons or frenzies. So I will see you tomorrow. Meantime, take care and have a wonderful Tuesday.